Hi folks, I thought I'd run a bit of an experiment this week. I've got my Sire H7, which I've been doing all sorts of videos about recently. There's a full demo review, there's a Larry Carlton cover, there's a Chuck Berry cover, all sorts. I'll put some links in the description below if you need to check any of those out. But what I'm going to do is change the strings, and I'm going to put on flatwound strings. So I've got these Tomastic Infeld flatwound gauge 10 strings, 10 to 44, to replace what's currently on there, which is Elixir 10 to 46. I've never, as far as I'm aware, I've never played a guitar with flatwound strings, so I've no idea if I'm going to like it or not, but I'm very curious. I've got a few jazz arrangements in mind which I'm going to record for the channel in the next few weeks, so this seems appropriate. If you don't know much about flatwound strings, I gather they use kind of like tape-like wire to wind around it rather than round wire. So it gets this very smooth feel on the string, much more like a violin string. And they tend to have a warmer, kind of mellow, more bassy kind of sound, which is often favored by jazz guitarists. So it's going to be a fun experiment. I've just recorded a few clips using neck pickup, using bridge pickup, using both. Just going through my amp fairly clean with the current strings, and then I'm just about to change strings, and then once I've done that I'll record a few clips with the flatwounds and we'll put them side by side and see what the difference is in tone, and then I'll talk a little bit about how they feel as well. So here goes. First of all, the tedious job of changing strings. First impressions, they certainly feel a lot different to standard round-wound strings. They're very smooth, and it's interesting to note that the G string is wound, just like it would be in an acoustic guitar set of strings, rather than being plain steel. So I ain't going to be doing any big string bends on the G. That's about as far as I can take it, which is about a semitone. So that's going to certainly affect the way that I play, and it's obviously going to affect the tone as well, because the G is going to have that slightly different, less bright sound, I guess, that it otherwise would have if it was the plain steel. So let's have a bit of a noodle, and then we'll compare the two clips from before and after, see what the difference is. very interesting comparison. From a playing point of view, I'm finding slides and things much more difficult. Probably just because I'm not used to the feel of these strings. I can't gauge how far to slide my finger. Quite a bit of getting used to the G string, as I'd already mentioned. I play a lot of acoustic guitar, so I'm used to that kind of thing, but when I'm playing one of these, I'm always naturally going to that G string and wanting to do string bends. And I would say, listening back to them, certainly a more mellow tone. It's not quite as dramatically different as I expected, but certainly a noticeable, I think, on the bridge pickup particularly. It didn't quite have the brightness. It does obviously on the two highest strings, because they're plain steel, but then it's these lower four that have that more smooth, mellow tone. I think it's really going to come into its own when I get stuck into some jazz standards, which are coming to the channel soon. Make sure you subscribe if you don't already, by the way, so you don't miss them. See that seamless link? But yeah, I suspect a lot of jazz comping night. It's really going to have that sound that I've been looking for, and because a lot of those jazz chords and comping kind of shapes are really focused on those four lower strings. We're not going to hear much of those higher ones, so it's going to have that very mellow tone to fit in the mix. So watch this space, more clips coming soon. I suspect I won't keep these on forever. I do think I'll miss the rock and roll capabilities of a standard round wound set of strings, but I'm definitely going to have a bit of jazz fun in the next few weeks with this. As I've already said, make sure you subscribe if you don't already, that helps a lot, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and I will see you very soon.